Very, very excited. And for the Hearts of Oak players, not what they expected, going all the way to Takwa and coming back to Accra without a point. That is painful for them. 3 consecutive defeats for the Phobians. Things do not look good for Abubakar Ouattara. My name is Mutala Yakubu, still here with Francis Aboyibo Blackgates and of course Josiah Okokwe. Francis, Hearts of Oak's adventure to Takwa ended on a bad note for them. They are coming back to Accra without any points.
Well, it's all about game management. If you look at what Hearts of Oak have done in the first half, if they were to continue with that, I don't think Medeama would have broken them down. But they threw everything out of the window and they came back into the second half with a different approach. And it backfired in grand style. Medeama basically put brakes on them and managed to stifle the 2 goals out of them to win the game on the afternoon. It's all about what you do in the attacking side of the pitch. That's the most important thing in football. But with this Hearts of Oak team, once again, you look at the goals they've conceded, especially the first one, and you say that the goalkeeper Sharif, once again, people will question his ability to play for this club if he's not yet ready. Because, yes, take nothing away from the goal scorer, Amwa. He struck that with so much power. But the goalkeeper should have been doing better on that particular occasion. It's like
do you think he was unsighted?
He was unsighted, but for one, his reaction on slow-mo speaks volumes. You question whether he has given up when the ball was even approaching him. Because his positioning and the way he reacted to the ball is not the best if you've watched this game.
Make an effort.
Not the effort with one hand, with that shot.
But Mutala, if you look at the slow-mo, like what they show, the first angle, just look at Salim Adams, look at Glido Tanga. When they turned, they knew that this is a goalkeeping error. Even though he struck the ball clean. Look, you just watch.
That one, that
Mutala, it was a catastrophe in central midfield. Here, you ask question about Glido Tanga. You ask question about Salim Adams, the 2 central midfielders. Who was the one in charge of marking Aban, the goal scorer? Because when he had the ball in central, it was like out of ball retention. They won the ball back in central. Managed to salvage the situation. He was supposed to sniff danger and close him down. Look at Befi here.
Yeah.
With the red boots. Let's go. Befi. So I don't know why Befi was running backwards. You understand? They should roll it. Befi was supposed to see the danger and get close. But look at Befi here. He keeps running backwards and thereby opening up the space in central midfield for Alban. And at this particular moment, it was all set for him.
Okay.
Pick your spot, pick your moment, believe in yourself, and let's fly. And he did that.
In Befi because there was another player trying to make a run. And Befi would always have to track the run because he is a right back. So he's always going to track the run to make a run. And at this point, it will be very difficult for him to catch up with that player. So all you do is to try and narrow that angle for that player. So he tries to nullify that pass to whoever is there. So it's just the organization of
that
the centre
Dennis
back.
Adomai,
Exactly. So it's the centre back positioning and also the position of the double pivot for them. That's Afrani.
But
and
they
Guido
were
Tana. They were in no man's land. And just look at the left back in Ampedu. Look at where he was. So it's just the organization for Abdul, because at this point, if it was a different player who that, then again you talk about confidence. The goalkeeper didn't even have the right the confidence to know that he could shoot and I could just move and save it. At least a dive or something. And that is the problem with Hearts of Oak. That department has really caused them this season.
Francis, 2-0 to Hearts of Oak. It was game done and dusted for Medeama. I'm sure Hearts of Oak would hit themselves hard with this, especially looking at that first half performance where it was almost a 50-50 with Medeama. They were hoping that at least they'll get something from this game. Last season they won
consistently in the games and give out decent performances across, because if you play like the way you play today, it doesn't speak well of you as players. And at the end of the 90 minutes, look at the players in camera. Some of them were even smiling. No, you've got to take it into your stride. Let it dawn on you that no, this is not the team I grew up supporting, because I know almost all the players have grew up supporting either Hearts of Oak or Kumasi Asante or their local team that they've seen. And you know that growing up, you watch Bernard Dombote, Emmanuel Osekufo, Ishmaelado and Co. The way they play for Hearts of Oak, Issa Ahmed, Edmond Osu and Sa, all of them played for Kotoko and those. So you've got to step up and then play properly. This is not the Hearts of Oak character. This is not the Hearts of Oak materials that we are seeing. Sharif Shuaib, I don't know if they've quickened his elevation to the first team, because this is not a Hearts of Oak material based on what I've seen.
Well, With the 3 games that Hearts of Oak have lost, Samatex, Bebiani Gold Stars, and this game in particular, would you put it down to a tactical deficiency in the part of Abubakar? Because he usually admits when things do not go well. But with the 3 games that you've won, would you say this is pure tactical error that the coach made?
No, it would be very, very difficult to just, lay all the blames on the doorsteps of the head coach. Yes, he's responsible for player selection. He's responsible for, the tactics they deploy on the day. He's responsible for quite a number of things on the day. But then I would say, injuries has been one. I think that Dennis Kosa red card has really cost Hearts of Oak a lot, in that 3-game span. And you can see how they are struggling at that left back position because there's no, consistency over there. They are lacking quality. I'm not saying Ampedu doesn't have quality, but you would only get the best out of Ampedu when he's playing at his natural right back position. And you also get the best from that.
Honestly, I thought Levintus Atta was.
I even thought Levintus Atta was going to play in that. It looked more like a 3-back system for me because you had 3 central defenders playing or starting for Hearts of Oak this afternoon. Now, Franny was pushed further forward to join Glido Tanga in that double pivot position. I think, Mutala, we just have to, hit the nail right on the head and just call a spade a spade. Hearts of Oak will have to go out there and get a goalkeeper that befits their status.
Yeah.
As a big club, as a giant. The goalkeeping role has really cost them a lot this season.
That is huge there. Richard Atta was on the bench for Hearts of Oak and he didn't get a shot in this one. So let's go back to the Akun Park after the game where Medeama won by 2-0. And I'm sure Coach Neboska Capo is super delighted.
Came through after this performance.
But the bit back at Chata man Ghana for and say, Omunya with and was supporting us. Now the chance to say, Ebeba.
Yes, this summer takes about draw. They say, Usha League table now, Maba fit. But Magic League.
Yeah, a bit Magic League. Still now, I have him say bit Magic League.
I'm sure this win has given Medeama some confidence that they can retain their title because they are now not far away from the top where Samatex are lying there. A few weeks back, I'm sure they might have thought that this was going to be a mission impossible, but then they believe no, as about Honum. Yes, so things have changed on the Ghana Premier League table, not at the top, but in the middle, where the likes of Vibiani Gold Stars, the likes of Medeama currently lie. So between Medeama and of course Samatex have 46 points, and Medeama now have 36 points. So they are still within touching distance, Josiah.
That's 10 points.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to believe.
3 matches or 4 matches.
It's 4 matches, but you also don't expect Samatex to drop points, in 4 straight games. That's going to be very, very, I don't know.
But mathematically.
No one said mathematically everyone is in contention.
Everyone is in contention.
But then realistically, that's what we're saying. It's good for them to believe. Now, the good thing for Medeama is they do not have FA Cup to worry about. They do not have Africa to worry about. They solely have to, focus on the league they are playing. And if they can consistently churn out, performances like this,
Mudala, the reason why I was laughing when he was making his submission was looking at Nswatreman. I think is this Nana Dakwa who once interviewed one of the Nswatreman centre backs and he confidently said they are going to win the league.
Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago.
He said they were going to win the league.
Because they were flying high in the league and winning matches back to back.
He doesn't know that we have. It's not like a race. It's a marathon.
It's the second round that has actually not been too kind to them, but the first round saw them do well. So
look at the 2 brothers.
Hearts of Oak have been pushed to 11. Asante Kotoko, they are playing tomorrow, so they can still hold brief that should they win tomorrow, they would enter the top half of the league. But for Hearts of Oak, currently 11th on the table.
The landlords and the tenants had some great Olympics, the same points.
I'm sure the Phobian fans from Weninje, when they see where their team is lying at the moment. But I see all them Dreams FC have now fallen into the relegation zone, even though they have 2 outstanding games. They are currently 16th on the league log, with Hearts of Lions occupying 17th and Royal Tamale United occupying 18th, despite the fact that they won their game. But for the likes of Bofo Aquatano, now 15th, Karela 14th on the table with 30 points. Legal Cities are also 13th with 32 points. Great Olympics have 32 points and are 12 as well. But Hearts of Oak, Josiah, Omabe also 11th. Not good for them.
It looks bad for them. And I think they're only 4 points above the relegation.
And they are 7 points with the Heart of Lions. And
that's
7 points.
It's even the drop zone. That's even the 16th place team. They are just 4 points above the 16th place team. And this is the Junior FC team that has 2 games in hand. So should they even win one, that will take them above. And it means at some point they might be just 3 points above Tanobo Fakwa. And this looks more like a deja vu because last season they found themselves in such an unwanted situation, and it took a draw away at the Golden City Park against Bekum Chelsea, to help them to remain in the Premier League. And I don't think that's where they want to be. There's a team that 3 weeks ago, after I think match week 22 or so, they were talking about even challenging for the title because they were just 9 points, below the league leaders. And all of a sudden, after 3 games, that's why it's important to be winning games consistently because every win counts. And that's the reason why you find Nations FC, you find Samatex over there competing for the ultimate, the coveted trophy.
And that is the beauty of the Ghana Premier League. 3 points are very important.
Very precious. And you can see just after these 8 games today, with the session of the Kotoko interactive man game, you can see the movement on the table. Quite a couple of, a number of ups and downs for these teams. Some movement up. The Medeama, after that win, it's catapulted them to 5th place already. You can see the movement over there.
Okay, so let's go through all the final results that came through for match day 25. Bekum Chelsea came back to beat Dreams FC by 3-2. Baby Any Gold Stars also got a last-minute penalty and won the game by 3-2 against Karela after Karela thought they had equalized and will be going back to the north with the point. But for Kwatano defeating Aduana by a goal to Great Olympics, also drawing 1-1 with Bichim United. Heart of Lions getting a 2-0 victory over Inform Accra Lions, and Legon Cities were held to a 1-1 draw by Samatex. Samatex were on the losing end, but they had to pull all their resources together to ensure they get a point there. Then Medeama also got a 2-0 victory over Heart of Oak. RTU also beating Nations FC by a goal to 0. So there was no home defeat in the Ghana Premier League in match day 25.
The midweek has been super.
But the fact that Kotoko would be playing in Swatema tomorrow, so the onus lies on Asante Kotoko
to continue.
And yes, almost a record
with the home. But the shocking result for me, with all due respect to Real Tamale United, I'm not talking about pedigree. I am talking about current form guide.
Okay.
Beating Nations FC, I think they've done something brilliant there. And Hearts of Lions themselves beating Accra Lions, because Accra Lions themselves were flying. En route to this game, I think they were on a 4-match winning streak.
Yeah.
For Heart of Lions to put the break on it, especially at the Pando Park, is not shocking. Being a native of that town, I know how Lions play there. So it will be tough for you to grind our result there. Then you look at the match of the day. Basically, was the Bekum Chelsea Dreams. In the last 10 minutes, they brought something on board to be able to overturn the scoreline to win it by 3-2. So if you look at the permutations, you could tell that the league has been brilliant. It's been tough. We've seen 2 brilliant goals in Takwa where Medeama beat Hearts of Oak. But RTU winning today against Nations, I think they've done something superb. Okay, so quickly let's go through the next 5 games that the Phobians will be playing after losing 3 consecutive games. Their next game is at home at the Accra Sports Stadium against Karela United before they travel to face Legon Cities. Then they take on Accra Lions, so they will be playing in the Southern Zone for the next 3 weeks there. Then they go to Bekum Chelsea at the Golden City Park before they take on Aduana at home. Josiah, how many points do you think Hearts would amass from this?
They should be amassing 9 out of a possible 9. Mutala, Karela at home, Legon Cities away. Yeah, I think Legon Cities, they've been the boogie side of Hearts of Oak for some time. They just held Samatex today, I think. Even at home, but they've also not been convincing with their performance. These days they play in the... it's not been convincing, but then I believe Hearts of Oak can, get 9 out. And it's a good thing that they are playing their next 3 games in Accra. It's good for them. Maybe they would. It's not that far from. It's not within the Greater Accra region though, but then it's also within around proximity. But then Kaila at home, Accra Lions at home. This should be the turnaround for them. The last 3 games hasn't been good for them, and I don't think the fans will be so happy. But then it's still calm, within the fans. They believe that things will definitely turn around because they have faith in the coach. That's one thing that's keeping them going. They have so much faith in Abubakar Ouattara. They know he's the man taking them. But then the next 2 games, after the 3 games they've played around, will be at Bekum Chelsea and Aduana at home. Big game for them, that Bekum Chelsea game. So these are the next 5 games that Hearts of Oak will be playing there. Karela, Legon Cities, or in
line for the Phobias. Then Medeama's next 5 games as well, they would also take on Legon Cities at home. So back-to-back home games for them. Then they go away to Brecum Chelsea before they play Asante Kotoko at home. Great Olympics away from home, and Real Tamale United at home. So 3 home games, 2 away games for them, Francis.
Tough games for them. Legon Cities, they can easily navigate. Brecum Chelsea, it depends on the mood in which Brecum Chelsea and Mancuna and Co will be in before they will be confronted with Medeama in an away fixture at the Golden City. It will be tough for them to be able to grind the result there. Against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, yes, some time ago, a 2-guy and Co went there to win the game for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. With Kotoko themselves, I think this season in the league, they have gathered most number of points away from home in the league. So Kotoko are good travelers, especially when they have their Zimbabwean striker playing for them.
They are Ugandan striker,
Stevie Mukwala. He has been brilliant. He has scored the most number of goals on the road in the league.
Yeah.
So if you look at what Kotoko have done against Medeama away, it will be tough for Medeama. Yes, but at the end of the day, it's great Olympics away in Accra. That will be tough for them. The Olympics themselves, when they are in the group, they make life extremely difficult.
Yeah,
Real Tamale United, they should be winning that one as well. So I think they will get 9 points out of their next 5 matches.
Okay, so that is the next 5 games that Medeama themselves will be playing, and they're not easy for them. But we're wrapping up quickly. Josiah, not easy for Hearts-of-Oak, but I'm sure the fans, as you said, they will be patient with Abubakar Ouattara, knowing that he started something brilliant, and they may see this as just a blip on the way.
It happens. It happens. They know, and sometimes in football there are rough patches. They do happen, but you need to stick together. And I think after the recent AGM, these fans will know that they know it's been clear to them, the direction of the club, where the club wants to be, a new secretariat, thinking about completing Pobiman, a new stadium for them, and all that. These are the things the club is thinking of. And yes, the fans are also thinking about the 3 points on the pitch. And their next game hopefully will be at the Accra Sports Stadium. But then I think they just need to be patient, rally their support, just rally behind the team, and I believe they will come good.
Okay, so this is why the Ghana Premier League is unique there, because 3 points can do a lot of good for teams that want to climb up their ladders. Chelsea, Man U, we need 3 games to also but in the Ghana Premier League, 1 win can take you up there. 1 defeat can send you bottom of the league. But Francis, good game we witness. Tomorrow we are back here, Kotoko.
Yeah, Kotoko. But before we kick out of the studio, I would like to say good evening to my godfather, Mr. Joe Ivor of Homestars Football Club in Ho. This afternoon, they've also played their midweek games in the Division 1, and they beat Susubibi Sporting Club at the Ho Sports Stadium by 2-1. I would like to say congratulations to Coach Adamu Sule and the lads that have done the job this evening for them. And yesterday we just signed a new contract with one of the betting companies as well. So we are in good hands. So I say good evening and well done. Keep the good job in the Volta region.
Of course, and also keep the good job that you're doing for Madagana, whoever is helping to ensure that our football will grow is also doing a great job. But the lines will be activated very soon. There you can call and share your thoughts and opinions on that Hearts-of-Oak game that just went by, and all the other games that were played in match day 25. And Asante Kotoko and they will be coming up against Swatema. So call us. We have a few minutes to check out of the studio. 055-846-2088 055-846-2088. Fraying na Chewadri our match day 25 from Hearts-of-Oak, losing 3 consecutive games. It doesn't look good for them, and currently they've dropped to 11 on the table. Let's see how things will go with them there. But also and this is what makes it beautiful, Francis, especially when either Hearts-of-Oak or Asante Kotoko, when one loses a game and the other have a game the
other one also tend to flop.
Yes, there seems to be some pressure that falls on them. I don't know.
They always look at each other on the flip side, but if you look at the Hearts-of-Oak form on the table, it's just look, their last 3 matches lose. So back to the Kotoko stuff. Kotoko will need to win tomorrow, because when they win, they will lift Hearts-of-Oak on the league table, and probably I think they will even go above Nswatrama on the league table as well. So everything is at stake for the Porcupine. You know that himself, Coach Prosper Nati is under intense pressure.
A very
huge
much
pressure on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time Kotoko has won a game in the league. So I think
their last win came against Baby Any Gold.
I think they've also lost their last 4 matches in the league on a bounce. So they need to put their ass in order.
But they got a draw last week against Bichim United, and that is a positive sign
It's
for
a
them.
positive sign. I'm talking about playing at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. So it's tough for them. So they need to put things right. So
Okay, so I'll come back to you. Your namesake has just called us, Francis from Kumasi. Francis, match day 25. Oshebi Yetio. Hello, Francis.
Hello.
Yeah, Francis, match day 25. You bought games no do na ka Kotoko ni so atemape. What do you make of games now you bought?
Oh. I'm here the media. Said it and half a lucy the papa Kotoko there. I'm working at the uni. You better make an another.
Okay, yeah, that's it, Francis. Or no, Kasafri Kumase. There, your namesake. Or say the Tibia has a lucy any day, and don't quiet any German.
it's an added incentive to them, you know. It's like when House of Oak loses and your Kotoko wins, the fufu you can eat and eat and eat without even getting satisfied. So it's one of those things, you understand. The problem is, like you rightly said, with Hearts and Kotoko, when one person drops the point, another team is supposed to pick it up. The other also goes to play it, let me use the local language, through car, just like that. You understand? So Kotoko, they have to guard themselves, because tomorrow I don't think there's room for error. They don't have any much more room for error in this league, because Cruz Sports Panati Ogum is under intense pressure to grind out results for them.
So let's go to Jolu and speak to Benjamin as well. Ben, match day 25 of the Ghana Premier League. Who want to sing? Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Yeah, Ben. Match day 25 has Akolusu 3 consecutive defeats. Who want to sing?
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon.
Me too. Me too.
The better, but the better mechanic say, coach, you know, have assistant coach in the academy. Or see, I'm a call a referee, no, our dressing room or honor some motivation on a moken year.
That is what he alleged. So the match reports, we would actually see whether it is true, because so we would have to get the match report from the match commissioner and the referee to report to actually know say so.
Yeah. But has losing I may have has lose you the answer. By a bomb pass be for year.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So that is Benjamin. They're calling us from Jolu as well. I mean, Josiah, it seems Hearts and Kotoko are also playing their own league. They can lose sight of the Premier League and be competing amongst themselves as to Mapa. We are coming home. But tomorrow, does this Hearts of Folk defeat power pressure on Asante Kotoko?
But I don't think this game has any bearing on tomorrow's game between Kotoko and Insuachaman, because Hearts have problems of their own. Kotoko are also facing their own problem. Yes, you could say they are in their own mini league. At some point back they were 7th and 8th. At some point they were 8th and 9th. Today they are 10th and 11th. You know, they keep doing this. It's nice. Maybe for their fans, some of them will look at this and take solace from it. You know, but then I don't think Kotoko are really struggling now. In their last 5 games, they've picked up just 1 point out of an available, a possible 15, which is just not good for them.
There's pressure.
There's so much pressure on them. So I don't think they even have sight, or they are looking at this Hearts of Folk defeat. I think they are just worrying about themselves and how tomorrow they can just go there, and just ease off some of the pressure that's on them. Because you saw that game at Bichim United when they've traveled to the Fosu Jabo Park.
So I'll come back to you. Let's go to Ho and speak to Kofi. Kofi, be sure say when Heart of Lions won their game in match day 25.
Yeah,
Nyame ado meet you.
Yeah. Football na ya ball na ya munni ba ku kunen kasa. At times some you know ya na ya pa. Because at times some say that is no papa get am jin. Nye ne kwem etia some team binu. It's that time for more ya pa nyami stram. Na ya from my prepare sanya nyam. Me ya Kotoko supporter pa. Ocha ibe win 2-0. Mo dia pa mo marking be da.
Okay.
Se has the super na Kotoko so kosro. That was it. Bye bye.
That's it. So yeah, that's it. Hold on. But again, back to the issue. I was asking if there will be pressure on the Porcupines.
I think he traveled 3 games back when Hearts lost, to Samatex. I think Kotoko lost in that week.
Yeah.
Hearts lost again to Gold Stars, and I think that was when they
got a draw against
So,
United.
I'm just saying this, that Kotoko's win tomorrow is not dependent on the fact that Heart of Oak, has dropped point today. They both have problems of their own, and both teams are just thinking about, yes, it's the fans that would want to see the other go down as they try to, pick up points. And tomorrow, a win for Kotoko will be huge for them, especially for the psyche and the confidence of these players, because they are playing as if there's nothing at stake for them. And where they find themselves is not where Kotoko usually find themselves. It's a position where they've not been for a long time now. And tomorrow they just have to go out there and just put this defeat behind and just try. Okay,
so Abu is from Koforidua, calling us from Koforidua. Abu, match day 25 has losing the likes of Heart of Lions. What is saying?
Match no. Yeah, I did a first half of the day, but second half of the day, and yeah, but how to do mangas on me? Mumma, a person to go, Mumma to go, action to say. So when you are company, a friend to do your home free war, and your house, no more so to Sana me who know, and yes, I me, maybe say, and yet, but me say, and compose you or one more, or more task uncle for. What a shit, I'm a friend and board. Once I know Mumu, for this Zoom board now, this I mean, not I can't share the echo.
We're still picking 1 or 2 calls before we check out of the studio. But big blow to Nations FC. Samatex, at least they got a draw back to Insecure. I'm sure among the 3 teams who are chasing for the title, they will be the happiest. So, points.
Yeah, they have added one more positive point to their tally. They have 46 as against Nations 42, I think.
43, yeah.
So that's 3 points, 1 game on top of Nations FC. So it's up there for both of them to play for. It's the ultimate games that they have to play now. You understand? So it's the one that will pick the maximum and be consistent on the road.
Consistency.
Yes, because both Nations and Samatex, their home grounds are fortresses. If you go, they'll beat you. It's a den. So it's the one that will manage to pick some vintage points on the road that will have a proper say. Because in awkward matches like the one Samatex were confronted with today, they managed to get a point. If you are not winning the 3 maximum points, you should manage to get one. Half a loaf is better than none. And if they keep picking those odd points and Nations keep dropping, then it will be a problem. But with Kasim Mingo, with all his experience in this game, currently he's the longest serving coach in the league.
So let me go on to the lines and speak to Emmanuel, who is actually monitoring us from UK. Emma, we thank you. We are very grateful for you calling in. What do you make of the games that were played, especially the Hearts game?
I think it was a good game. Hearts of all gave a good account of themselves, but they lost to a better side, Medeama. I think at the second half, the way Medeama played, they were more compact, they were more purposeful. And I wasn't surprised that they lost. They won against Hearts of Oak. I'm a Kotoko fan, but I think it was a good game. Our game is developing. With this kind of approach from both clubs, I think our game will get somewhere.
Okay. Now, what do you make of Kotoko's recent form? They have played 5 games in the Premier League and just gotten 1 point.
I think Kotoko's performance has been quite woeful. It's been bad. We are hoping that tomorrow against Insuacheman they can make amends and be right, come out and with flying colors. I think Ogum needs to vary his tactics a bit and try to put more experienced players on the field of play. Other than that, it's going to be like how we've been in for the past 4 or 5 games that they've not been able to win. Their match against the Chim, I think our goalkeeper, Danlad, who happens to be the captain of the team, actually said that. I'm hoping that Danlad will be imposed and have Mokwala scoring for ourselves. We're monitoring up here. Okay. I always monitor Match TV. You people do well with good play and post analysis, and I think the Ghana Premier League is actually going a long way.
Okay, thanks very much, Ima, from all the way from UK. But you're live on Star Times at the Patch Channel 247. So I'm sure the entire nation has heard you there. So that is Ima monitoring from UK there. I mean, Ghana Premier League global. You do it.
It's on the app. It's on the app.
Yeah.
You go online. You pay your subscription.
You remember Samuel who used to work for 442? He's always
in the
watching.
UK now.
Yeah, he's in the UK now.
He's always on.
He's always watching Star Times. The PR Samuel is watching Star Times. So that is it. I don't know if we can pick a few calls, at least one or two before we check out of the studio. But again,
more space, breathing space up there because they know they have a superior goal difference and they also have 3 points more than nations.
So Salifu is also on the line. Salifu, happy Ramadan to you. I'm sure you are super excited. But you watch Match Day 25. What do you make of it?
Thank you very much.
Nyamina do me hoye pa na so e. Okay, yentio.
He's not talking into the phone.
Until my own ball of moving in them, and you just ball on ball. No, allow them to go, let it go. I think until my own and yet could be able to charge you. And she said that you must down the mobile party. Yeah, thank you. And just say, no, we keep that you are second trouble. I won't be because out there.
Guy is not there.
And to born and then move on. Everybody was attacking people and support someone. And we never have a focus man for. They are not like all.
Okay, that's it. He's talking about the fact that Hatfield give too much room to the opponent to possess the ball, and they do not press as he would have wished. I don't know, but that is what he thinks there. But it has been a good one. Thanks to my guest, Francis Aboyibo Blackgate. Always a pleasure to have you, and also my colleague Josiah Okokwe, and to you at home for always choosing Star Times and doing the watching Ghana Premier League in Maka. We see anyone here. We are all contributing our quota to ensure that Ghana football gets to the standard that it deserves. My name is Mutalai Akubu. We are back tomorrow for that big one that Asante Kotoko will be playing against Nswateman at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. 5 p.m. near to the gym. The OBI, the Bebro, Yamenka, on show. Back at the Salah to all Muslims. Echna, Yenshiawa. Bye bye.